Hi fam, happy Tuesday. Coming to you live for some eyeball rescue, guys. If any of you are feeling the same way I am, it feels like my eyeballs are going to melt and drip down my cheeks because of how much screen time I have been clocking in quarantine. So here is a little practice that I developed to help kind of appease the outside of the eyes, the cheeks. So here's what you'll need. The first thing that I highly recommend is to keep a spoon in your freezer. I have this spoon in my freezer at all times, and every time I feel any sort of fatigue or inflammation coming up around the eye sockets, I take it out and I just do a nice compress all around the eyes. Sinuses are nice too. So always a spoon. I find it even better than those kind of ice masks that you can get. And you can even close your eye when it's cold and just actually put it over the eye and rest it there for a little while. A lot of people use this trick in the morning if they have any sort of swelling around the eyes, but I actually use it 2 to 3 times a day, usually before the breaks that I take. So since it's almost lunchtime, I thought I would take you through my eyeball rescue. So that's the first thing. If you use essential oils, grab an oil that is close to you. I'm using Helichrysum today, or Helichrysum. You can also use flower petal oils. I would stay away from any of the hot oils such as the mints, the spices, even the herbs. So go with something a lot softer like a floral oil. We are going to apply it around the eye but not close to the eye, so there shouldn't be any danger. And you also want to make sure that your hands are clean, obviously. We're actually going to start with a little eye exercise that's going to help strengthen the muscles of the eyes. You're actually going to take your palms here and you are going to gently press them onto the tops of the apples of the cheek here. So if you smile and you find your apples, put the bottoms of the palm on the apples of the cheek. Now close your eyes and just drop the palms over the eye sockets so that there's no light that's coming in. Just take a few deep breaths here, really keeping the eyes softly closed. Let's go for one more breath here. Now, while keeping your eyes closed, you're actually going to lift the gaze of the eyeballs as high up as possible, as if you're trying to look towards the sky. You're going to hold that there, and then you're going to drop the gaze down towards the ground, all the while keeping this nice pressure on your palms and keeping the eyelids gently closed here. So look all the way down. Bring the gaze back up to a kind of neutral position, looking forward, and then look all the way right. So remember here, your eyes are closed and you have a gentle pressure on the palms, but you are moving the eyeball over to the right, as if you're trying to look towards your right ear. And you're going to come back center, go all the way left here, same thing, really stretching those eyeballs as far to the left as you can. Now let that gaze drop back to the center. Then you're going to do the same thing but in a circular motion. So start up all the way towards the sky. You're going to move from the sky looking over to the right, down towards the cheeks, and over to the left, and all the way back up to the sky. Let's go one more time in the opposite direction. Drop the eyeballs over to the left, keeping those eyelids gently closed. Drop the gaze down to the floor, over to the right, and up towards the sky, and then let the gaze fall back to a neutral position. Now just gently remove the palms here, allowing the light to come back in. You want to keep those eyelids gently closed for a few moments here. And a couple deep breaths. And then you can gently blink your eyes open. Great. Then you're going to take your oil. So whatever oil you're working with, ideally one of the floral oils. I'm really loving Helichrysum. You can also use your copaiba or your frankincense oil. And we're actually just going to draw a beautiful figure eight around the eyes. You can actually start here, right in the middle, kind of at the cusp of the sinus here, and do a nice wide figure eight around your eye. Come on up to the bridge of the nose and over towards the left here, finishing back on the bridge of the nose. Now, if you don't use essential oils, you can do this same thing without any oils, or you can use a carrier oil such as an olive oil or a fractionated coconut oil. You're just going to take your fingertips, warm them up a little bit. So rub them together. And then you are going to start with your fingertips right up here on the bridge of the nose and gently use circular motions towards the outside. Come up onto the bridge of the nose and move up further and further. Gently massaging here, always coming back over the bridge of the nose towards the sinuses, going up towards the hairline. So you really want this to be a nice outward circular motion here. A little bit further, and if you can do this practice with your eyes gently closed, that's even better. The idea here is that we really want to rest and give some respite to the muscles around the occipital lobes, but also closing the eyelids and coming all the way up and around. Let's go for 2 more here. A little bit further up towards the hairline. And one last time, and we can kind of drop that out. We can wipe the excess oil off onto our wrists here. Close the eyes, and let's take a couple deep breaths in here through the nose and out through the mouth. If you are using essential oils, you have the added benefit of the aromatic properties here, which are really wonderful. And we can just gently bring our eyes open. So that is eyeball recovery. I do that about 2 to 3 times a day, especially on days where I am very, that are very tech heavy. If I'm looking at screens really quite often throughout the day, I try and take breaks and do that little 5-minute eyeball recovery as much as I can at the end of the day, at the very, very end of the day. So once I've closed down the computer and my screens for the day, I also always take a good 5, sometimes 10 minutes with a nice soft eye pillow. So if you don't have an eye pillow at home, you can actually make one very easily. You just want some sort of sand or some little beads in a nice patch here. It's nice to have it wide enough that it actually covers all the way from the side here of your cheek to the other side. And then you can lay back at least on an angle. Try and keep your head really in line with the shoulder blades here. And then you're gonna lie back and gently close the eyes. Put your eye pillow right over the sockets here. Just slack the jaw and take a nice 5 to 10 minute break here. You can meditate, you can put some music on, you can hum, whatever is restful for you, but using that little light pressure on the eyes of an eye pillow at the end of your day will give you added rest for all of the muscles around the face that are quite intensely used right now, that we are in quarantine and doing quite a bit more telework, quite a bit more sharing online. I hope this was helpful to all of you. I did it as a live, but I am going to save it and repost it as a IGTV video for those of you who couldn't join. I hope you have an amazing day, and we'll talk soon. Bye.